All right, everybody. This is going to be a very, very short, quick recap of our 6,300 SPX puts trades that we took this morning in Tenant Trade Group. If you were in there, it was a banger, and it paid very well. We're using the air gap MTF method of trading here, and I want to show you exactly what that looks like. So, I'm sharing my screen. I want to show you. I know I got a lot of stuff on there right now, but um, I want you to see when we broke right here this morning. These are the 10-minute Ripster EMA clouds that I use. This one in particular that has the ribbon running through it. That's the 512 EMA. When that uh, breaks, meaning when we're trading underneath of that, that becomes a very short-term bearish reversal pattern. And what we want to do is we want to take SPX puts. So I have an arrow here. When we broke on this candle right here, I told the room to go ahead and take these puts. We ended up getting these puts at $3 and around $3.40. Um, and what we were doing is we were playing an air gap. Okay, so an air gap. This is going to be a 4-hour chart, but an air gap is it's the space that exists from one set of EMAs to another one. These get exponentially bigger the higher the time value is on the EMA. For example, your air gaps between the 10-minute EMAs is going to be smaller than the air gaps between the 4-hour EMAs or the daily EMAs. And this morning we had an air gap set up because these EMAs on SPY have been bunched so much lately. It's very easy to go through the 10-minute, 30-minute, the 1 hour, and even the 4 hour, which is kind of what happened this morning. So I can show you what an air gap looks like. This down here, right here, is an EMA, an MTF EMA, and to kind of define what a air gap is, you can see down here we have a 34 EMA. So this is a 34 EMA on the daily, and all the other EMAs are up here. Okay, so we're currently right here on SPY, right around in here. All the EMAs, the 10-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, and the 4 hour are all up here. So which means we're bearish, right? So this gap between this EMA down here, this is what's called the air gap. So this is what we will be looking for tomorrow and even the day after. You can see this is a sizable gap on SPY. It goes from 627 all the way down to $620.80. That's a $6.20 air gap. That is a huge air gap on SPY, which is what has been lately allowing us to trade these SPX contracts and end up making 5, 6, 7, 10 bag our money. So, but I want to talk about this one trade in particular. So it happened on this candle when we broke. It's slightly hard to see, but when we broke down below this EMA, we were targeting this EMA right here. And there's some better pictures that I'm going to show you. But that was the basic understanding of what we were taking with the trade. We would have gotten out of the trade had the 10-minute curled and went back above the 512 EMA. If it, we took the trade here. Let me see if I can spread this out a little bit. We took the trade here, but if it was to curl and go back above the 512, we would have got out of that, took a paper cut, took a little bit of a loss. But this setup is one of the A-plus setups that I talk about in the room at Tenet because it happens on a higher time frame. This time it happened on the 4-hour time frame, and we were shooting for that MTF. So our trade initially was taking here, and we were shooting down here for this green line MTF that runs through here. So I just want to show you kind of like how I led the room through the SPX trade this morning. And I'm going to go back to my chat here and show you just a few things that I kind of watch and look out for. You can see here, this is the Tenet trading room. I have my own tab or room inside that. It's called the SPX tape room. I am an SPX trader. That's why it's called SPX tape. But I have my own room in there. And so I just found that funny. I don't know why I found that funny. So anyway, I we were trading this morning. We were initially in the puts. We got taken out of the puts with a little bit of a loss, but then we got back into the puts when we saw it breaking again. In between some of this, my son Owen was trading TSM puts. He was also trading CrowdStrike puts. Uh, Side note, little tape. He had his best day ever today. His most profitable day of his trading career today. So I'm super duper proud of my son today. Um, but I just want to talk about this trade. So we end up getting back into the puts. You can see here, I said I'm back in the puts on voice. I'm back in the puts. I'm $3.40. Okay, and uh, and so what's happening in the market is we're getting some sell side stuff taking place. I have an algo tracker that I use, an SP 500 algo tracker, and it was just blasted with red. Just a lot of sell programs were coming in, and you can see if I um, went down to let's say a 3-minute chart here, and I went back around that time frame, you could see here just the amount of selling that took place. You can see it in these candles, especially these ones right here. But anyway, as we broke structure coming off the 10-minute 512 EMA and we turned bearish, I knew that the target down there was very susceptible because we had hit it prior, and we were giving up gains. And so the Mag 7, 4 of the Mag 7 were already weak. My algo tracker was telling me that we had sell programs coming in, we were breaking structure, and I knew we could hit a big old payday on the SPX puts. So we grabbed the puts. I told the guys, we're in the puts trade for like 10 minutes. Hey, guys, hold the trade. Let's hold the trade. So where are the targets? The targets are right here, 627.70, 627.70. Now, when we took this trade, SPY sitting up here around 631.60-ish. Okay. Now, how did I come up? How did I come up with that particular target? Is we're using these EMA clouds. All of these are telling me where the beginning of the EMA cloud is and where the end of the EMA cloud is. On this particular one, on this 4-hour, I'm going to stretch it out as much as I possibly can. So just give me a second. All right. So on this particular one that we were playing, it was here this morning, right here on this candle. Let's see if I can. Yeah. And so our target was we were coming from here, hitting down here on this EMA. Let me go to the 1 hour. Maybe you could see it a little bit better. Okay, this makes more sense. So let me get rid of this. This line running right here was the EMA that we were looking for. All right. You can see we took the trade. We took the trade. And this is the trade that we got, and we were looking for this touch right there. Now you can see we went into it a little bit. This is very typical of high time frame bounces. High time frame bounces meaning a 4-hour or a daily bounce is going to give you it's going to very quickly wick into that MTF, and then you're going to get this springboard effect. It's called the law of oscillation. I talk about it in the room all the time. But even more than that, you're going to get the very quick release down to that MTF. So you have to be very fast when you get in and out of these, especially these 0 DTEs. So that's the structure of the trade. This is how we target the trades right here. And so going back to chat, you can see here, I was like, hey, let's go ahead and hang on and look for these targets. Okay. Now we're hitting targets on TSM puts. That was a big winner. And then I'm telling chat, here I am a couple minutes later, hey guys, we're going for MTF targets. The reason I'm reiterating myself over and over again is because we don't want anybody piking. If you get into the trade at 340 and it's sitting at $6 or $7, that's juicy for somebody that doesn't have the emotional stability or ability to hold on to that trade. I'm reminding them, hey, there is more to the trade. You can get more profit out of this trade. So that's this, hey, these are the targets. These are the targets. I'm just consistently, we're heading towards these targets. And we know these targets are accurate because we use this EMA system day in and day out. We know how like almost to the penny we can get. As a matter of fact, when SPY bounced the first time, it bounced within 2 pennies of our target. Okay, that's like SPY. That's pretty incredible. So anyway, I said we're watching the VIX. So at the same time as this is going on, we're watching the VIX. Okay, now the VIX. Again, we're on the 1 hour. Let's go to the 10-minute. Now the VIX, where we took our trade, we took our trade right here. Okay. Now the VIX and SPY have a correlation. When SPY is going up, typically VIX is going down. When SPY is going down, typically VIX is going up. They pressure one another. They have a correlation to one another. Okay. So we have in the room, we have something called the SPY VIX strategy. It's just another thing that we can use, another piece of information that we can use to really solidify what we think is going to happen in the trade. So as SPY is going down, VIX is going up, putting volatility and pressure on the market. Okay, so we're watching this as well. So let's go back to SPY. So here we are in our trade again, and back to the room here. And I say, hey guys, let's watch VIX, because above 1830 we can get really squirrely. That's redneck term for we can really start blasting away. Well, we did get up there, and then we went even higher. So we did get squirrely, and SPY started coming back down, and SPY really started to pay us. So I said, boys, again, hold them SPX puts. We're breaking the 4 hour. Here you can see I put a chart. I said, hey, we're breaking 4 hour. Now this is a very clear picture of how this air gap method works. You can see we've broken structure on all the EMAs are now bearish. Every single one of the EMAs at this point in time on the chart, they were bearish. The only thing left was this one down here. This area in between here is called the air gap. Now what happens is because there's nothing else there to support it, it's like bungee jumping off of a bridge, and you just go until you hit the EMA, and then you bounce. Okay, that's what we're looking for. That's why these are A+ setups. So anyway, I told the room that. So we're breaking 4 hours, and we're shooting for the targets. Targets still remain the same. Then we had lots of sell programs coming in. This is an algo tracker that I use. You can see sell program, sell program, sell program. These are big sell programs. This one's 84 million, 45 million, 45 million, 60 million, 57 million. Okay, we have big sell programs that are hitting the tape in the S&P 500, which is SPX. So I hope you understand that. And so anyway, I tell chat, I'm like, hey, this is our target right here. We're right here right now. This is our target up here. Okay, this is what we're aiming for. All right, so a little bit of hand holding, a little bit, hold the trade, hold the trade. We're going to make big money. I'm on voice, and I'm going, hey guys, I think we can get 14. I think if I remember right, we were around $9. I said, don't sell here. I think we can get 14. If we bottom out here pretty quickly, we can get 14. So we ended up getting out of our TSM. They were banger puts. I tell the chat again, VIX is the key. All right. So then I point out this gap that existed in VIX right here, which we ended up filling today. I just wanted to give a little bit more confirmation to the people that were in the trade with me. These are all the things that I'm looking at as I'm making a decision, putting information into my brain while I'm going, okay, I'm in this trade. What pieces of information do I know that are going to keep me in this trade? This is just another piece of that information. All right, and I'm telling everybody, I'm saying, okay, here we go. So we really start to break down underneath the 4 hour. I said, here we go, guys, get ready, because this happens fast. It's going to be fast. All right, here we are. We're at 11 now, probably close to 14 when we hit our targets. Now, we want to let these go when we hit our targets. This is how I trade, okay? So if you're following me, this is how I trade. Yeah, we could have held it and got a couple more bucks, but I know that when we hit MTF, we are going to bounce. So I want to make sure that I'm out on that jet. When it jets down, I'm going to make sure that I'm out of that trade. All right. So I just tell them it's a beautiful trade. Air gaps are easy wins. They're A+ setups. I love trading them. It will bounce off that MTF. They always do. Unless there's a huge catalyst, they bounce. That's why those resistance and support zones are there, because they act as support and resistance. And when you hit a support, you're going to bounce. Naturally, you're going to bounce. Like I said, it's like jumping on a trampoline. Naturally, you're going to bounce. All right, so I tell them 627.65, we're going to let them go. 14, it's sitting there filled. We got filled, we got swept up. Boom, boom, boom. LFG, I'm all out. What a day, what a banger. All right. So that was the trade. And then I left. You can see this is 9:45 in the morning. Then I came back. I took my wife to her favorite French restaurant here in Kansas City, Cafe Provence. I came back at the end of the day. I always like to trade mock, so I started trading mock. But um, the room just they made out. So you could see here on the room, if I scroll back, let's see here. I'll go back this way. All right, so here we go. We filled here, SPX puts, calling it a day, boom, boom. Trader Jared made 100%. RN $1.85 to 970. King Hulk says, "Tape, you're a legend." Thanks, Tape. A lot of people are grateful in the room. Legendary Tape, max respect. Guys, this happens every day in tenant, pretty much every day. I mean, when the market's volatile, we can make this kind of bank every single day. And these are the cream of the crop setups. Like, I know I get DMs from people, nasty ones, and they're like, Tape, you only know how to do three things. Well, I know how to do three or four things really well. I mean, I might be a 3-trick pony or a 4-trick pony, but I'm really, really good at riding that pony. So, if you could make a living doing this, then you should exploit it and you should continue to make money doing it. So as you can see here, we got the W, we got the wins, everyone's super duper happy. On this particular trade, you could see this little arrow right here. There's an arrow right here. That's where I got into the trade. This is where I got out of the trade. The reason I got out of the trade right there, we did push up to 21 on that trade. Could have got another $7, but that's okay. The reason I got out of that trade is because we hit our target. And I'm a guy that I firmly believe that when you get into a trade, you should know your exit. Um, that's planning. I think everybody should do that. My exit all along was hitting this MTF. I knew that I could make sweet money right there. So, 4 bag in my money this morning, five bag in my money this morning. I'll take that all day long. So that's just a little bit of like, how we do our air gaps, or how I do my air gaps. Again, guys, tomorrow, I don't know what the market, looks like tomorrow, but I do know this. Uh, this air gap right here from the 4 EMAs, from the 4-hour EMAs that are up here, which we're now underneath those, so we're bearish on the 4-hour. You can see we're bearish on the 4-hour. This EMA right here will provide us a huge win. We just need a catalyst. If we get a negative catalyst tomorrow or the day after, we have we have the ability to go down here into the daily 34 EMA. As a matter of fact, I'll be setting up here tomorrow, waiting for like a Trump tweet or some sort of news to cause this to happen. Remember, when all your EMAs are up here, there's no support below you. So the only support that we have is this daily. So you're naturally going to want to fall off that cliff. That's how we can exploit air gaps. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I normally don't do stuff like this, but I get questions all the time. How do you trade air gaps? How do you do this? How do you do that? And I wasn't ready to leave my office tonight, so I decided to do this video. I hope this video helps you guys. If you want to learn how to trade EMA clouds, come into the room at Tenant. This is not something I'm going to be doing a lot just here on Twitter. I do this every day in Tenant. Ripster does it every single day in Tenant. He's a great leader. He explains things very well. He's a great teacher. He's very patient. This is a proven system that you can make a career out of trading. You can really make a lot of money trading EMA clouds. And so if you want to do that and you actually want to stop bouncing around from community to community, you're going to have to pay a little bit of money to get in there. That's how it works. You have to pay to play. I don't make the money. It's not my room, but that is where I reside. I love being in there. I love being part of the tenant community. They become part of my family. I've been in there for a little over a year and a half now. I could probably do this anywhere, but I choose to do it there. I've had a lot of honor and respect for Ripster. and the way he teaches. And I see traders come in, they're new, they don't know anything, and then within a couple months, they're learning the system, they're seeing the patterns, they're consistently profitable, and they're becoming great traders. This is how you have a system in order to to have a foundation to build a career on. So we do that in Tenet all the time. Now, if you use my link, if you use my affiliate link, I will tell you I get 25%. um, the money that I get from my affiliate link, I give to a local food pantry here. My family and I, we've supported for years. So this is not money that I'm going on vacation with or anything like that. All that money goes to charity. But I'm in the room pretty much every day when I'm not on vacation, and and I'm in there doing SPX trades. So